This morning for those who own some older model Chevrolets.
Specifically, a leak in a line near the left rear wheel well in some '08 to 2010 Chevy Cobalts and HHRs. There have been 208 complaints in all, but no fires or injuries reported. Federal safety regulators will look to see how widespread the problem may be and what might be causing it.
Well, checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 180 points. The Nasdaq is up about 50 points. The S&P 500's down 2. This is CBS News.
Why settle for average? With Capital One, you can open a new savings account with a rate 5 times the national average. Welcome to Banking Reimagined. What's in your wallet? Capital One N.A., member FDIC.
It's 8:03 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS. Sunny and warm conditions again today. Windy at least a part of the day. Good morning. I'm Stan Bunger, and here's what's happening. No slowdown in the California COVID-19 surge. Another record high number of new cases reported statewide. More than 8,200 yesterday for the 17th day in a row. A new record high in the number of people in the hospital for treatment of COVID-19. That number is up by 50% in the last 2 weeks. Positive tests still running well above 7%, far above the 5% threshold the World Health Organization says indicates things are at least under some kind of control. A leadership shakeup in the state's prison system. The man in charge of medical operations removed after the mistaken transfer of virus-infected inmates into San Quentin has sparked an outbreak that now has hit more than 1,500 people, prisoners and staff members with an infection. 6 deaths attributed to that at San Quentin. KCBS's Holly Kwan reports this latest move is not enough to satisfy federal judges who seem to be losing patience with the way the state's handled this.
Despite the governor saying the prison situation is a top priority, a federal judge is suggesting that a specially convened panel could force the state to release low-level inmates immediately. At a hearing yesterday, Judge John S. Tiger worried how prison infections could spread to surrounding communities and deplete limited medical resources. It's not just the nearly 1,400 inmate cases at San Quentin that prisoner advocates are worried about. Don Spector is head of the nonprofit group Prison Law Office.
The California Medical Facility at Vacaville is extremely vulnerable because there are people there who are old, who are sick, who are disabled. It could get ugly very fast if that spreads.
Last week, the judge toured the 1,400 inmate Vacaville Medical Facility and noted the fragility of the inmates who he said were living on top of each other. It's possible he could order the state to allocate sufficient cell space and staff to deal with prison infections. Holly Kwan, KCBS.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says there could be an effective coronavirus vaccine by the end of the year. A number of companies are racing toward that. But in the meantime, he tells KCBS political reporter Doug Sovereign, Californians need to wear their masks and keep their distance, or we could be forced back into a total lockdown.
On our show, The State of California, Dr. Anthony Fauci expressed hope that the approach being taken now in California will stop the worsening spread of the virus.
We hope we don't have to go to a complete lockdown again. It is possible that may have to come about.
But he doubts it if California keeps bars closed and only allows outdoor dining and we follow common sense public health measures.
The issues that are pretty simple, the physical distancing, the avoiding crowds, the 6 feet distancing, the wearing masks at all times.
The head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases worries about young people feeling invincible, not realizing their mild cases of COVID-19 can lead to deadly ones in the generations above them. He told KCBS there are half a dozen vaccines in the works, and one could prove effective by the end of this year. When there is a vaccine, Fauci will employ a grassroots network built during the HIV/AIDS pandemic to overcome anti-science skepticism.
There is a certain segment of society that's very skeptical about vaccines that are being recommended. The way we're already starting to get around that is we've got to do a very strong effort in what we call community engagement. Get the community involved, meet with them at the level that they trust, to get community workers to go out there with us and explain the facts about why it's important to get vaccinated.
In the meantime, for those experiencing coronavirus fatigue,
we're going to get through this. This will end. It will end from public health measures, and the science will help us get there with treatments and vaccines. We've just got to hang in there and just realize that we will get successfully through this. It's going to take a while. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to just disappear. It's going to be controlled. but we're going to have to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Doug Sovereign, KCBS.
By the way, on the vaccine front this morning, learning that Novavax will get $1.6 billion from the program called Operation Warp Speed, which is laying out federal dollars in a wager on potential vaccines before they've even hit clinical trials. The CEO at Novavax says that money would let the company produce 100 million doses of vaccine for delivery starting in the fourth quarter of this year. Federal government has already announced investments in vaccines under development by Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, and Moderna. Just ahead on KCBS.
I'm Tim Ryan with the closure of the state capitol.
My daughter and I were symptom-free.
A case of COVID.
KCBS First for Traffic, your local Honda dealer's traffic center, and Kim Wonderly.
We still have trouble trying to get across Highway 37 to Sears Point, Stan, and this report brought to you by Safeway. There's been an accident with a big rig and another car on West 37 right before you hit 121. They just now cleared it, according to CHP. Taking a look with the Chilton Auto Body collision cam, so lanes just now open. That's good news, but boy, I would not want to be stuck on Highway 37 right now because you are backed up beyond Skaggs Island, so expect major delays heading to the Marin-Sonoma County side. Bay Bridge never did report anything wrong at the tunnel, but there sure is a backup entering the tunnel westbound. We're talking about getting into Yerba Buena Island Tunnel. It all clears up by the time you get onto the San Francisco side, but there's definitely slow traffic here. Back at the toll plaza, we are backed up right around the 880 overcrossing, and then we see the brake lights entering that tunnel. Meantime, northbound 680, long-standing accident. When I say long-standing, I'm talking about from the 5 o'clock hour. So this is North 680 before you get to Automall Parkway. There has been a traffic advisory in place because of an asphalt spill as a result of an earlier accident. Most of the backup now is just north of Mission Boulevard on North 680. Safeway offers grocery delivery, fresh, fast, delivered to your door, or drive up and go at certain locations. Download the Safeway delivery and pickup app or visit Safeway.com. $20 off your first order using promo code SAVE20. Safeway, come in and explore. Next update, 8:18 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
And the skies remain clear. The wind speeds are still rather impressive. We had gusts of over 50 miles an hour in the Altamont Pass overnight. It's not like that now, but still a pretty strong westerly wind as part of the picture today. That ought to settle down. We will wind up with afternoon highs from the mid-60s right on the coast to the upper 80s inland, and then slightly warmer weather for tomorrow. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
We're home now more than ever, so it's a perfect time to tackle those home improvement projects. Hi, it's Kim Wonderly. Armstrong can help, and you can schedule a virtual appointment now for your painting, window, or foam roofing projects. Our Armstrong foam roof reduces cooling and heating costs up to 40% while sealing us tight from the elements. And right now, save 15% on your roofing, painting, or window project. Call 855-777-1234 or online at armstrong1234.com. License number 245291.
Audi Marin is here to serve Marin County and San Francisco. Don't miss out on our exclusive 4th of July specials in our showroom, including 0% interest on select 2019 and 2020 models. Or shop for your next Audi from the comfort of home at AudiMarin.com. See retailer for details. Purchase an Audi qualifying model starting at 0% APR. Limited term financing excluding taxes, title, and fees all due at signing now through July 31st, 2020. Audi Marin, off the 101 in San Rafael.
Attention investors, here is a 1929 8708, now again in 2020. The market has lost over trillions of dollars in value. At Riverfront Brokerage, our investors haven't lost a dime because investments are protected in an asset class that has been around for over 100 years and will retain its value through all the market losses and world events. Now, as in the past, our investors are expecting a 60% yield at maturity. Learn more about this opportunity. Call Riverfront Brokerage today at 877-484-2424. Don't lose what you've worked so hard for. Investors have the option of investing using a cash, self-directed IRA, or 401ks. Call Riverfront Brokerage and get your free investor's guide to protecting your retirement capital. That's 877-484-2424. Riverfront Brokerage is not a United States security dealer or broker or U.S. investment advisor. This is not an offer to sell or a solicitation of any other to buy any securities.
KCBS News Time, 8:12. The state capitol is getting a big scrub down, a deep cleaning. KCBS's Tim Ryan joining us live now to report. This is because of an outbreak of COVID-19, and it means a delay in a reconvening of the state assembly. Tim?
Well, Stan, Assembly Democrat Autumn Burke of Los Angeles announced on Twitter that she contracted the disease apparently on June 26 during a budget vote. She believes it was a case of mask-to-mask transmission. 4 others, either legislators or staffers, also tested positive. Assembly Speaker Anthony Rendon prolonged summer recess for at least a week for that deep cleaning. Burke says her 6-year-old daughter and her are symptom-free and now in quarantine. She's urging all of us to do everything we can not to spread this disease.
Heartbreaking feeling that you will feel when you know you have affected somebody and put their life in jeopardy will destroy you. It will break your heart.
Burke says she wore a mask at the Capitol but didn't always practice physical distancing. And I'll tell you, it helps to be a VIP. The lawmaker, daughter of an L.A. congresswoman, received her test results on July 4th, both a weekend and a holiday, in same-day testing. Reporting live, Tim Ryan, KCBS.
Thanks, Tim. KCBS News Time, 8:13.
You may not know it, but the equity in your home can provide you with cash when you need it most. Whether you're looking to consolidate debt or cover a major renovation, a home equity line of credit or cash-out refinance from Fremont Bank may be a great choice for you. With increased home values, now may be the right time to give us a call to find out how your home's equity can work for you. Visit fremontbank.com or call 866-992-INFO today. NMLS number 478471, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Never paint your home again, go Rhino Shield.
We know that the last few months have been full of uncertainty, but there are still some things that remain constant. It's still as important as ever to keep your home beautiful and well maintained. And Rhino Shield is still the company you can trust to help you do just that. Rhino Shield is a permanent ceramic house paint that protects your home from the weather and puts a stop to the endless cycle of maintenance. It comes in any color, and it's guaranteed not to chip, crack, or peel like ordinary paint. By now, you've been hearing about Rhino Shield on KCBS for years. If you've ever thought about getting Rhino Shield for your home, now is the time to pick up the phone and call. We need to get our crews back to work, so we're offering our lowest prices ever. If this is your first time calling for an estimate, mention KCBS and save a full 20%. And if you have had an estimate from us in the past, call us now and we'll requote your job with the new discount. Call Rhino Shield today at 855-RHINO-55. That's 855-RHINO-55.
A better tomorrow starts today with Wendy's breakfast. A tomorrow that says bacon, not bacant. Where fresh eggs reign like opportunity. Honey butter goodness is spread. And the Frosty is chinoed. At Wendy's, we don't ask what tomorrow holds, but rather, what will you hold tomorrow? Will it be the breakfast Baconator or the honey butter chicken biscuit? No matter what you choose, tomorrow's looking good.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
As you get back to business, small things can make a big difference. Like marking safe distances with floor tape and posting reminders to wash hands. As always, Grainger is here to help, offering supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, 24/7 support, safety recovery guides, and more. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bay Area Rodent Solutions has been serving the Bay Area for over a decade. If you have a rodent problem at your home, they're open and ready to help. Visit the Rodent Exclusion Experts, BayAreaRodentSolutions.com. Now performing COVID sanitation, following COVID safety guidelines.
Hang on just a sec, Steve. I want to tell the folks what's coming up in about 5 minutes. We'll dig deeper into that effort to remove prisoners from San Quentin in the midst of an
Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your goldfish to sing Bizet's Carmen? There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Limitations apply. Visit geico.com for details.
It just takes a lot of hard work Eventually, you'll get a little bit better each and every day, and hopefully that leads to something great in the end.
DeChambeau says he gained 20 pounds of muscle mass since last October. Many published reports say it's 40, but he says it's 20. NHL Players Association and the league have approved that 2014 playoff setup in Edmonton and Toronto that begins August the 1st. French Open tennis officials say fans will be allowed at matches in the tourney, which begins September the 27th in Paris, up to 60% capacity. Bubba Wallace, in response to Donald Trump's tweet accusing him of a hoax with that news found in his garage at Talladega and demanding that he apologize, came back and said, always deal with the hate being thrown at you with love, even when it's hate from POTUS. Lakers center Dwight Howard will play in Orlando and donate the remaining $700,000 of his salary to his charity, Breathe Again. FC Dallas has been removed from the MLS's back tournament in Orlando beginning tomorrow night after 10 players and one coach tested positive. They were scheduled to open against Vancouver Thursday night, but that match had already been postponed. Of the 557 players in Orlando tested, 13 came back positive, 10 from FC Dallas, the other 3 from 2 other teams. And Dave Stewart, Tony La Russa, and Dave Dombrowski have joined Music City Baseball LLC, dedicated to bringing Major League Ball to Nashville under a majority black ownership. At the sports desk, Steve Bitker, KCBS.
KCBS First for Traffic. This update sponsored by Bay Area Rodent Solutions. Here's Kim.
All right, some new problems have cropped up around the Bay Area. We'll start in Novato. Accident reported, Stan. This is on southbound 101 right before Ignacio. Although this accident is said to be off to the shoulder, a vehicle is leaking fuel, so the fire department is responding to the scene. So far, traffic's been easy through Novato. We'll see what impact this might have. Westbound 37, that's in recovery mode. The accident we had with the big rig near Sears Point at 121 has been cleared, but the traffic is backed up well beyond Skaggs Island, so do expect delays for some time to come. It's going to take a while for this to thin out. We're also getting word of an injury accident near SFO, South 101. They're calling it just south of SFO. Injury crash where a vehicle hit a wall, the right shoulder wall, so they're rolling ambulance to the scene. Again, South 101, the traffic's been light enough, and so far traffic is getting by okay. We did find out what was going on with the Bay Bridge. There had been a stalled vehicle that was had gone unreported, but thanks to the KCBS phone force, we found out that the right lane was affected coming out of the tunnel. It looks like that is cleared now. Most of the slow traffic is still just at the toll plaza from 880. And then finally, northbound 680, long-standing problem heading out toward Sunol, out of Fremont before you get to Automall Parkway. It looks like that right lane is still blocked. Much earlier accident and an asphalt spill. They called for Caltrans sweepers, but we still see no evidence that they're on scene. Your next update, 8:28 on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
The Mancini Sleep World 6-day forecast. Enjoy big savings during Mancini Sleep World's triple bonus mattress sale. We ought to see the wind start settling down after today, but the real basic weather story is sunny, warm conditions, warmer starting tomorrow and definitely warmer by Thursday. This weather pattern all the way into the weekend. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. So on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. The pressure building to remove more prisoners from coronavirus-ravaged San Quentin Prison. We're joined on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline by Don Spector, Executive Director of the Prison Law Office. You heard his comments in Holly Kwan's reporting earlier this hour. Mr. Spector, thanks for taking the time. And this situation, some have said it's sort of akin to a raging fire. It's not just a little smoke in the room, but the building's burning, so to speak.
You're absolutely right, and that's a perfect analogy because people's lives are at risk because of the way San Quentin is constructed and the vulnerable and sick people who are there and old people who are there. It's a tragedy. It's a disaster in the making, and we call upon Governor Newsom to act quickly, which he hasn't done so far. To remove people from San Quentin so even more people don't get infected and don't get sick and don't die.
I mean, it's obviously complicated politically. There are some dangerous criminals there, but there are human beings there, no matter how you slice it. What's the easiest and best way you think to deal with this right now, this morning?
Well, the best way is to get the people who aren't a big public safety risk and get them out of the prison system. Get people who have demonstrated for years and years and years that they are rehabilitated, that they don't represent a threat to commit more serious crimes, and just get them out of the prison system so that you have room to put people safely, separate them safely. The prison system is overcrowded. It's been overcrowded for decades, and we've been warning the prison system for decades. Every governor, since Governor Schwarzenegger, that something is going to explode at some point because of the overcrowding, and they just don't have the room to move people to keep them safe when something like this happens.
I know there's been an effort by the San Francisco Public Defender's Office, for example, to file paperwork on behalf of its clients who are in San Quentin to get their release. But how would that happen on a case-by-case basis? Or is this something that should be done by looking at people's likelihood to be dangerous and work it from that angle?
Yes, every person who comes into the prison system gets a score about what their level of risk is if they were sent back into the community. So you can take that information and start from there and start releasing people from there based on their risk to the community. 90% of the people who go to prison get released into the community anyway. All we're saying is do that a little more quickly and a little more expeditiously so that you have room to separate people who are positive from people who are negative, so that they don't get infected and they don't get seriously ill or die. The prison system just at this point doesn't have the number of cells they need. They don't have the number of dorm beds they need. They don't even have the number of doctors and nurses that they need to care for all the people who are sick at San Quentin.
We appreciate your time this morning. Don Spector, Executive Director of the Prison Law Office. Jason Brooks next with KCBS Money Watch News.
Stan, surging COVID-19 cases in the U.S. has Wall Street jumping on the bandwagon of two biotechs today. Novavax has been awarded $1.6 billion by the government's Operation Warp Speed program to complete a late-stage clinical trial for its vaccine candidate, in which the firm expects phase 1 safety results this month, followed by a phase 2 trial assessing immunity, safety, and COVID-19 disease reduction. The phase 3 trial is expected to include 30,000 participants beginning this fall. Burlingame-based Corvus Pharmaceuticals announced it's beginning a phase 1 trial on its experimental antibody treatment for COVID-19 and will enroll 30 healthy participants in the U.S. Shares of both firms are soaring higher today. Corvus up by 113%. Shares in Novavax up by 31%. It's a big help for the stock market. The NASDAQ in particular moving further into record territory, up 83 points. S&P gaining 4 points. The Dow, however, still down by 130 points. On the Money Watch, Jason Brooks, KCBS.
Geico presents quick ways to change your life. Today, try taking a walk at lunch to someplace you've never been. You could also change your life by getting to know your local Geico agent, so you could save on more than just car insurance. Oh, and since you'll be walking somewhere new, please bring a GPS so we don't have to come find you.
Mortgage rates are at historic lows, so if you have a mortgage, refinance it and forget it. You'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Network Capital Funding is offering our lowest 30-year fixed rate ever. 2.625 with a 2.64% APR. Incredible, with no origination fees or discount points. Network Capital has built a reputation for saving people time and money with our unique process that's fast, simple, and secure. Our 30-year fixed rate is 2.625 with a 2.64% APR. Incredible! These are historically low rates you may never see again. So refinance it and forget it. That's a 30-year fixed at 2.625 with a 2.64% APR. Call the experts at Network Capital Funding now. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1-HIT as in home run. Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Business Oversight under the Financial Lenders Law. Number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and credit approval. Call 800-500-1-HIT for more information.
Your home is your castle, your refuge, your safe place.
Our job at 1-800-GOT-JUNK is to make junk disappear.
And we're good at it.
Your home will feel bigger
and cleaner.
And you'll feel happier.
We promise.
Give us a call
or go to our website
and your junk will magically disappear as our truck drives past your home.
Well, almost.
We'll be in and out before you can blink.
And our gloved professionals touch nothing except the things you want to disappear.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
You don't have to put off your painting project any longer. Hi, it's Kevin Radich. I like hiring local, which is why I go with the guys at CertaPro Painters. They're independently owned and operated, and their work is immaculate. And now they're doing free remote estimates, so this is a great time to get on their schedule for your exterior or interior paint job. Go to CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Rest assured they're taking all precautions to keep you and the painting team safe. That's CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting.
License number 837312.
What's driving the conversation in California today?
How in the world do you think California went so wrong? I think we got a little bit complacent.
KCBS political reporter Doug Sovern explores the issues making news in our state every weekday afternoon at 3:30 p.m.
Just a month or two ago, California was being hailed as a miracle, a model for the nation of how to keep the virus in check. You know, it's hard to be locked down that long.
KCBS's The State of California, sponsored by Meristem, dedicated to preparing young adults on the autism spectrum for a life of independence.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
KCBS News Time, 8:28. First for traffic, it's Kim Wonderly's turn from your local Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
Major delays still north based, and the accident's cleared, thankfully. Westbound 37 right before 121 Sears Point. It's off to the side, so I can see with the Chilton Out-of-Body Collision Cam that no lanes are blocked, but there's still a huge backup on 37. Once you come off the Mare Island Bridge, you get past that lane reduction a couple miles out. That's where you join the queue. We still have some problems on 680. They say final clearing stages. I'll believe it when I see it, but for now, the right lanes are still blocked on North 680 before Automall Parkway, a long-standing accident from the 5 o'clock hour. They're sweeping out the rest of that asphalt that was spilled in the roadway, so hopefully we'll have better news, but it is still backed up from Mission Boulevard. Southbound 880 near A Street, Hayward accident there on the right shoulder, a little bit of a sluggish pattern. And we're also seeing an injury accident reported southbound 101 south of 380 right before SFO. They're trying to clear that one up as well. Your next update, 8:38 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
Forecast temps today, 70s and 80s for the most part. Might fall a little below the 70 mark in San Francisco, and the strong winds that we saw yesterday afternoon. Likely to see more wind today, but settling down by tomorrow. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS.
We saved big money with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and used the cash to take a family vacation.
To Hawaii.
Who's up for a luau?
Yay!
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough to go to Hawaii. They'll probably use it for things like the mortgage and groceries, or even a travel magazine, so at least they can see pictures of Hawaii.
Aloha!
Yes, say hello to those beautiful Hawaiian beaches in that magazine. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It all starts with just one thing. People are finding innovative ways to help the environment in these uncertain times. One group recently started making face masks out of plastic bottles found in the ocean. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
News that matters to you. Around the Bay, around the world, around the clock. All News 106.9 and AM 740. KCBS.
Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. Coming up on KCBS, California with another one-day record for new COVID-19 cases. Good morning, I'm Stan Bunger. It's 8:31.
CBS News update. President Trump meets with school administrators and teachers today to chart a course for the fall in the pandemic. Florida has ordered schools to open starting next month. Wendy Dorimalt is a teachers union official with some doubts.
There's no safe way to do it. It's not even feasible to be able to have lunch because you'd have to remove your mask.
Local Florida officials can close schools if they do feel it's unsafe. In New York City, no decision yet on schools, but Mayor Bill de Blasio says child care centers could open soon.
I've talked to so many parents who are trying their best to support their kids, be at-home educators, still somehow either hold down the job or try to find a new job, try to make ends meet. It's been really, really tough for parents. So bringing back childcare is crucial.
Brazil's President Bolsonaro has now tested positive for the coronavirus. He, like President Trump, has downplayed the outbreak. CBS News Update. I'm Steve Kathan.
KCBS News Time, 8:32. The surge in COVID-19 cases continues to build. Another new single-day record for California. Other states are doing this as well, but California's 8,200-plus cases. Yesterday, the latest big number. The hospitalization count has climbed by 50% in the last couple of weeks. The rate of positive tests continuing to climb. It's well above the World Health Organization's expectation that communities doing extensive testing should remain at 5% or lower for at least 14 days. It's been above 7% in California for the last week or so. A number of counties on the state's so-called watch list at 23. That's the highest level yet. Contra Costa, Solano, Marin, and Monterey counties are all on that list. Beginning today, people living in San Francisco's Tenderloin district can get a COVID-19 test. KCBS's Carrie Hudasek reports that the effort is meant to ensure that vulnerable residents have access to free testing.
While much of the Tenderloin's unhoused residents have limited access to toilets and hand washing stations, they're also having trouble finding free COVID-19 testing. Glide plans to open its parking lot every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. for walk-up testing. Director of Programs Kenneth Kim says it's a step up from the previous site that was plagued by technical issues because some didn't have internet access to schedule appointments.
You don't need an address to get tested. If that person does not have a phone or internet access or to receive a call, then we will actually assist folks.
The tests will be administered by the San Francisco Department of Public Health. Spokesperson Veronica Vienne says the site will also allow them to connect people to resources like food, hygiene kits, and other social services.
We are determined to create a familiar and welcoming presence at the testing site for everyone in a neighborhood.
She says so far, more than 300 people in the Tenderloin have tested positive for COVID-19. Carrie Hudasek, KCBS.
Meanwhile, COVID-19 testing in Sacramento gets a setback. County health officials say they're shutting down 5 test sites in underserved areas because of a growing national shortage of testing materials. These test sites had opened in the Sacramento area as a result of a partnership between Sacramento County and UC Davis Medical Center. A lot more tests were being run, but now the health chief in Sacramento County says they're now on hold waiting to see if the UC Davis Medical Center can get more testing materials. Police still looking for the couple that tried to paint over a Black Lives Matter mural in the East Bay minutes after it was finished on Independence Day. KCBS reporter Matt Bigler joining us live to report members of the community are now taking turns standing guard over the street art. Matt?
As Stan worried that vandals may strike again, supporters of the Black Lives Matter movement are keeping a watchful eye over the BLM mural in Martinez, with cell phones ready to record and report any further attempts to deface the mural, which was permitted by the city.
And we're not going to accept that. Not in the Bay Area. It's not going to happen. I don't think it will.
Patrick Langley, who is black, says awareness is growing among all races that African Americans have been and continue to be treated unfairly by the criminal justice system.
You know, we're getting killed, wrong. A lot of young black brothers unarmed being killed. I mean, look at the George Floyd situation. It changed the whole world. That's why I'm here.
The Caucasian couple that tried to deface the mural with black paint last Saturday has reportedly been outed on social media, but so far, no citations have been issued. Reporting live in the East Bay, Matt Bigler, KCBS.
Thanks, Matt. Quick update, and it really is not much of a change on that big fire burning in the hills east of Gilroy, the Cruz Fire, which broke out over the weekend, still at 5,400 acres in size, according to CAL FIRE in an update just a little while ago. 20% containment. There have been a few dozen people evacuated because of that fire, and a couple of residential structures have been demolished. KCBS News Time, 8:36. We'll update traffic and weather news in 2 minutes. This portion of the news sponsored by Pacific Coast Termite.
Termites, maybe not really on your mind. Maybe you've been putting off calling even though you know you have an infestation. Termite swarming season is here. The impact that those little devils have could seriously damage your home. This is Joe Starkey. Pacific Coast Termite has already been to my home, and I'm telling you, we needed it. And not only did we need it, we found out places we needed it we didn't even think we needed it. It was an amazing experience, and I can't tell you how valuable it has been to my family and our house. Pacific Coast Termite uses orange oil, no fumigation to force you to bag your food, protect your pets, or move out of your home for a few days. Pacific Coast Termite is a trusted company, and they've been with KCBS for many years and are A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. If you call now, you get get 10% off termite treatments. They also do apartment buildings, businesses, and restaurants. Have you noticed rodents? Yikes. Pacific Coast Termite takes care of that problem, too. Call 800-PACIFIC. 800-PACIFIC. That's 800-722-4342 or PacificCoastTermite.com.
Beth Miller Rowe is the Bay Area's reverse mortgage specialist. With over 35 years' experience, Beth offers a variety of reverse mortgage programs such as FHA insured home equity conversion mortgage and even jumbo reverse mortgages. Whether you own your home outright or have a loan against it, a reverse mortgage may provide financial freedom to better enjoy your retirement years. Reverse mortgages have changed so much in the last 10 years. Now is the time to call Beth at the Reverse Mortgage Group at 925-969-0380. Beth is located here in the Bay Area, offering free consultations in a friendly, professional, no-pressure atmosphere. Call Beth at 925-969